material there is to read. Look at the reading list, look at the books, how big each book is, how familiar you are with each book, and develop a study plan and a timeline so that make sure you have time to cover all the study material. So lay it all out in front of you and see how much there is, and then say, okay, I need about a week on this one, I'll need 2 weeks on this one, and divide it all up. And at the beginning of each study session, it's good to set a goal on how far you want to get, just to make sure you keep up with where you need to be. Okay, the next step is questioning, and this is just based on research that if before you start reading a source, if you think about what's going to be important in this source and kind of question yourself, what are going to be the key things that this source is going to teach me, and kind of have those questions in your mind, and we find that then when you read the material, you're more likely to pay attention, it's more likely to sink in. So, and for example, if there's a chapter summary at the end of the chapter, read that summary or read those questions before you read the chapter, because the summary and the questions are going to highlight what's the most important thing in the chapter. Yeah, so the way this puts it is it makes it more engaging when you're reading if you have some questions about what's going to be interesting to you or what it's going to teach you. Okay, as basic as this sounds, you really have to read all the material in order to be able to do well on the exam. So make sure you plan well so you can read everything, and again, don't skip any sources, because if the source is listed on the source material list, there will be questions from it. We use that source material list, and that's how we determine how many questions will be pulled from each. So you need to do, if you want to do really well, this is going to be a ranked list. The people at the top of the list get promoted first. And if you want to do really well, then you'll do more than just reading. You'll either take notes, or make note cards, or highlight the material. And all that helps you to digest the information and for it to get kind of settled into your memory. And taking notes does add time, so keep that in mind when you're going through. And then once you've taken notes, and of course you need to make sure you have the time to review those notes. So if you highlight, make sure you leave the last week or two to reread the source material and hit just the highlights you've done, or reread the notes that you've taken. And then it also helps some of the information that is just, that we pulled questions from, some of the best item writing content is some of the memorization stuff. So there are some things that you'll need to memorize. So read the material, anything, look through it, and if you think, oh, that obviously would make a good question, then make sure you memorize that material, that factual information. It helps sometimes to say it out loud, it helps to write it down, and then you can also come up with mnemonic devices where you come up with an acronym that helps you remember something. Okay, so that was about half an hour on the written exam. I'll stop at this point and see if anyone has any questions on the written exam portion. Any questions on the written exam, how that'll work, or the appeal process? Any questions on the appeal process? Are you familiar with the appeal process? Have you seen that before or heard of that type of thing? Oh, one thing I missed on the appeal process is that you can bring your source material with you when you come here to make it easier to write appeals. So you can either leave it in the car while you're actually taking the exam and then go get it while we make copies of the answer sheets, or we'll have a table and you can write your name on a sticky note and you can put it on the table away from where you're taking the exam. But if you want to bring your study material with you in order to write appeals, you can do that. We'll have a copy here, but if there's 50 people in the room, it'll be a line to get to the study material. So you may want to bring your copy of the books or whatever. Because the appeal, what we're looking for in the appeal is for you to say on page 12 it says this, and that's why I think B is also correct. So we'll be looking for specific information like that. Okay, you ready to go on to the assessment center? Okay, so we'll start with a little bit of information about what is an assessment center for those of you who aren't familiar. So an assessment center contains multiple job-related exercises. In this case, it'll be 3 exercises. At least one of the exercises is a realistic simulation where you're acting in the role of of the position you're testing for. So for example, in a tactical role, you're acting in the role of a captain responding to the fire situation as you would as a captain or whatever position you're testing for. We bring in skilled assessors, and I'll tell you more about that later, but all of the assessors are fire professionals. They come in here and make the ratings. And lastly, we focus on standardization, and that's a big part of why they hire Iron Solutions to come in and do this. To have a third party, a big part of our role is making sure it's a standardized process for every candidate. So our job is to make sure that every candidate has the exact same experience. And what we mean by that is you all have the exact same prep time. You have the exact same materials in your preparation time. You're in the exercise rooms for the same amount of time. You'll be seeing the exact same, if it's 30 candidates, all 30 candidates will be seeing the same 3 assessors for the tactical, and then 3 different assessors for the other exercises. So, again, standardization. Every candidate is evaluated by the same assessors. The assessors don't ask follow-up questions because we don't want one candidate to have an opportunity to give more information that another candidate doesn't. So every candidate's asked the exact same questions, has the exact same time to respond. So the purpose of an assessment center, why do we go through all this trouble of doing an assessment center? It takes a lot more time than a written test. It costs a lot more money because you have to fly in these assessors or pay for their gas, driving in, you have to put them up in a hotel. But the reason we do that is that assessment centers have been found to be very predictive of job success. We're assessing the job skills, the skills and abilities required for the position, and also how candidates can apply the knowledge that's required for the position. Assessment centers look at multiple skills. So if you look at everything that it takes to be a captain, or a BC, or a lieutenant, all the different skills, we're trying to get all those skills that are required. The written exam focuses more on the knowledge, and the assessment center focuses more on the skills and abilities, but there is a knowledge component to applying those skills and abilities as well. So we try to simulate the most challenging aspects of the job. We kind of pick out scenarios that will cover the key, most challenging aspects of the job. And with the assessment center, again, it's designed so that everyone has the same opportunity and it's unbiased. You know, we recognize there's limitations, that it's not quite as, there's some artificial pieces to going through an assessment center. It's not a real situation, but we try to make it as real as possible, and we're trying to get at realistic scenarios that you would deal with day in and day out in that job, and measuring the key skills that is required to deal with those scenarios. Okay, so how do we develop the assessment center exercises? We did a job analysis in 2014 for lieutenant and captain, and we're doing a job analysis right now for battalion chief. We identify the essential skills or dimensions that are required from the job as a result of the job analysis. The job analysis involved interviewing people in the position, observing, doing ride-alongs, and then we did a questionnaire that listed out all the tasks that are done in a specific job, and then we look at the skills and abilities that are required to complete those tasks. Some of you may have filled out the questionnaire back in 2014. We then identify job-related scenarios where those skills are demonstrated. And then we develop the exercises. So we sit down with a few subject matter experts here in Chattanooga, and we say, okay, this is what we want to measure. These are some of the typical exercises we use for this rank. Which would be most appropriate? What are some realistic scenarios, that types of things that would happen here that we can use to measure these skills? And then we develop rating criteria. So rating criteria are the ideal responses that we're looking for from candidates in responding to these situations. So let's say in a crew meeting or a staff meeting type exercise, we might be measuring supervision and management, and that's one of the dimensions we're measuring. Then we'll have a list of behaviors that we're looking for in that exercise that show that this person has supervision and management skills, and we list them out. So that's the criteria that we're looking for when I refer to criteria. And then that rating form is provided to the assessors so that when they're watching the exercise, that's what they're looking for. And a key question is, well, what if I do something that's not on the list? Well, of course, there's going to be, the lists aren't meant to be all-inclusive. It's kind of what we're generally looking for. But of course, lots of candidates will approach things different ways, and there's a lot of different ways to accomplish things. So that's why we have 5 professionals evaluating what you're doing in that room. If we could just use the checklist and that's all there was to it, then a bunch of HR people could sit in the room and do it, and we wouldn't have to pay for all these fire professionals to come in from all over the Southeast to do this evaluation. But instead, we want people in the room who have expertise and have knowledge and can judge whether this thing that, your approach to handling this situation, whether it would have a positive outcome or not. So if it's not on the list, then they'll look at it and say, would this work? Based on this situation, and your evaluation is based on how well you do. So that's why we bring fire professionals in, because we know that there is an element of judgment. Even though in advance we set this list of what we're looking for, what we're likely to see, we know that they'll need to use some judgment. So the subject matter experts here at Chattanooga will then review the criteria and they'll refine it with us. So they'll say, actually here, this is the way this works. Like we'd look at your progressive discipline policy, and if it's a situation involving something like that, and we try to write the criteria based on what we know of your policies, but then they might look at it and say, well, it kind of works more like this here, or this step we're going first. So they help us refine it and make sure it really does reflect the right approach to doing things here. Okay, so now a little bit about how things will work when you come to the assessment. So you'll be arriving to the assessment in groups of 3. So 3 people come at the same time. We'll give you your assigned time. It'll probably be based on scheduling and the shifts and requirements at that time. But so you'll come in a group of 3. You'll sign in, and then you'll do a confidentiality agreement and other materials that you have at sign-in. We'll give you a document with the procedures, rules, and your schedule, so it'll kind of explain to you, this is what the day is going to look like, this is how much prep time you're going to have, this is how much time you're going to spend in each of these exercises, this is the order of the exercises, and then IM Solutions is there to answer any questions. So after you read through that procedures document, then we say, what questions do you have, and you ask us any questions about the procedure of how the day will work. Then after that, you go into your preparation period. So we have a room where you'll be sitting with your 2 other, each at a different table with the 2 other people come in. And then you'll get the instructions for all 3 exercises at the same time. So you might have an hour prep time, or you might have an hour and a half prep time. It all depends on the exercises that are selected. And you'll have, we usually do a different colored paper. So for one exercise, it'll be blue paper, another exercise will be green, and the third will be yellow, and you'll read through the instructions for that exercise and prepare. So you'll look through and see, okay, I have 60 minutes prep time, I have the tactical, exercise that's only 2 pages, I'll spend like 15 minutes on that, and then you'll see, oh, well then I have an MBAS and it's 15 pages, I better spend the majority of my time on this one. So you'll look through your materials at the beginning of the prep time and decide how much time you should spend to make sure you prepare adequately for each exercise. So after you're done with the prep time, then everyone can visit the restroom, get water, whatever you need to do, and then we put you into your first exercise. You'll go into that room, complete the exercise, come out, you'll have about 10 to 15 minutes where you can again use the restroom, get water. We'll let you look through your notes just to remind yourself of what the next exercise is. Then you go into the next exercise, then you come out, and again you have about 10 to 15 minutes. Then you go into the third exercise, you come out, and then you'll sign out. So that's how that works. So the time can vary on how much time it is in between each exercise, and that's because the assessors are in the room and they're actually rating the previous candidate. So if they're behind for some reason, someone needs to use the restroom, or they are taking a little bit longer to review the last candidate, then you might need to wait a few more minutes than another candidate who's out there. So let's say, for example, there's 3 candidates in the hall. It's time to go into the second exercise. One candidate may need to wait a few extra minutes. And I'm pointing this out because I've had candidates say, oh, did I not get as much time because they all went in and I haven't gone in yet? No, everyone gets the exact same amount of time in the room. You might just need to wait a few more minutes till your assessor panel is ready. Okay, so there's 3 separate exercises. Each exercise is weighted equally in the assessment center score, so we just average across the 3 exercises. Within each exercise, there's different dimensions that are being measured, and they might be weighted differently. Like for a crew meeting, management supervision might be the most important dimension, and that might be weighted 60%. And then the other 2 skill dimensions aren't weighted quite as much in coming up with that score. Okay, the next slides I'll be going through will show you some examples of some of the exercises. A few words on how we selected them. So we select exercises that can be standardized across candidates, so making sure that it works with a large group of candidates going through. We try to choose the most job-related exercises, and then we try to pick exercises that are measuring different things that are important for the job. Okay, just to let you know, we do use technology in our administration of the exercises. So we use something called a Microsoft Surface. Is anyone familiar with that? It's basically like an iPad. And you won't have to touch it, you won't have to use it, but it's an iPad, it's about like this big, and we've gone to using that to administer the exercises to basically take some of the responsibilities away from the assessors so they can focus more on taking notes and paying attention. So it used to be like an assessor would read a question and start a timer. Well, we found that some assessors read too fast, some assessors kind of mumble, and maybe you won't hear the question correctly. About every 3rd assessment center, I'd have an assessor who'd forget to start the timer because, they got things, they just have a lot of tasks that they're focusing on. So instead of doing all that now, when the IO Solutions person puts you in the room, you press a start button on a little Surface, an iPad, the iPad would read the question, and then a timer comes up on the iPad. And that's what we mean by the technology that we're using, just so you'll expect that. A big part of it is we want to standardize the experience. Again, sometimes by the 12th candidate or 15th candidate of the day, the assessor might not be reading as clearly as they did for the first candidate, but the recording will read it the exact same way. So again, the idea is to have the exact same experience for every candidate. We'll also have cameras in the room. So we videotape just to have that documentation of what occurred in the exercise. It's there just in case an assessor wants to look back to see if something happened, like if they can't agree on whether something was said or not, they can look at the videotape, and it's just also there for documentation. So in the exercise room, there will be 2 tables. us two here. The candidate can either sit or stand behind one table, and then the other table will have the assessor sitting at it. They'll be a little closer together than this. The surface will be on the table facing you so you can see the timer and everything. The cameras will be off to the side a little bit. So you're not talking to the cameras, you'll be talking to the assessors. And the cameras are just recording the interaction. Okay, this is what the timers look like. So a timer pops up after the question's asked or whatever the exercise calls for, then a timer will come up. And it's a countdown timer, so it counts from 4 down. So this 4 is an example of an structured oral interview question. They'll ask the question, they'll say you have 4 minutes to respond, and then this timer will come up. In like an in-basket exercise that it's an 18-minute presentation, all you'll see is this timer, and it starts at 18 and counts down. And like a tactical, a question will come up and a timer will come on and count down. I'm trying to think of all the different types of things. So candidates are usually very concerned about timers and making sure they can monitor their time. You don't have to worry about bringing a timer in the prep room. There'll be a timer on your table so you can monitor your time, and then in each exercise there'll be a timer that you can see to monitor your time. Okay, if you want to take a look at this, a little bit of information on the structured oral interview. So I'm going to show you 5 different exercise types. There are only 3 exercises for each of these ranks. You know the jobs well enough that you might be able to pretty well predict which exercises would be for your rank, but we don't specify in the orientation what the exercises will be. So the first exercise type I'll go through is a general structured oral interview. Usually there's about 4 to 5 questions. Each question has about 3 to 5 minutes for you to respond to. Sometimes questions are provided in advance, and sometimes they're read in the room so that you have to answer off the cuff or impromptu. And you can think about it in terms of if we know you would have time to think through something, then we'll give you time to think through it in the prep time. For example, on the job, if you're having a subordinate that is having kind of long-term performance issues, you would have time to think through how you want to approach that. So we would give you that type of question in advance during the prep time, and you can think through how you would want to respond. Something more like on a fire scene where you have to respond right away without a lot of time to think through how you would respond. That's something that would be read to you in the room and you wouldn't have any advanced preparation time. So that's kind of how we decide whether it's given in advance or not. So if it's read to you in the room, if it's not provided in advance, it will be read to you from the surface. It will be printed on the surface, the iPad, and then you'll also have it on a sheet of paper in front of you. Because we understand that some people, process better being able to read something versus hearing something, so you'll have that in front of you. Most questions are formatted in kind of a scenario where a situation is described, and you have to describe how you would handle the situation. A few of them are more like straight up, tell me about a time type questions, but most of them are more like a scenario, like this occurs, what steps would you take? Because it's administered on the surface, you'll have to wait out the timing. So if they ask a question, then you have 3 minutes to respond. If you're done in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you will have to wait for the timer to finish counting down to 3 minutes. And some candidates feel like that's a little awkward, but it kind of gives you a minute to catch your breath. You can just plan on looking down, taking notes. You'll have a notepad in front of you. The assessors will be very busy taking notes, so they're not going to be just staring at you. They're going to be taking notes from your the last response. If you're sitting there and you finish responding and you have 30 seconds left and about 10 seconds into that you think of something else, please feel free to add something to your response. You don't have to stop like if you think, oh yeah, one other thing I should mention that I would have done is this, and you're still within your time limit, so that's fine. One thing you can't do is go back to a previous question. So you can't, during your extra time on question 3, you can't say, oh yeah, question 1, I thought of this. Once you're finished, once your timer is up for that question, you can move on to the next one. Okay, so some of the pitfalls that we've seen with structured oral interviews. One is talking too fast, failing to fully elaborate, failing to fully address an issue. So the key thing is you need to keep in mind that they can only rate you on what you say in that room. They may look at you and you look like a seasoned professional and that you would know all this information, but they can't assume any of that. They have to rate you on what specifically you do and say in the room. And we found that last time we were in Chattanooga, this was kind of one of the biggest issues that came up. Assessor said, I could tell he knew more, but he didn't say more, so I couldn't give him credit for anything else. So one thing is talking too fast. We heard that a lot of people came in and responded really quickly to everything, and then they had half their time left, but they stopped talking. And again,